Hey everyone. All right. I'm going to be trying some of the Japanese watercolors that I have. And this is the color swatch. And this is the colors. And I just did my little like these. I'm going to try to do an abstract, doing a little bit of maybe some neurographic inside, and just want to test a whole bunch of different things with this and see what we come up with. So I'm just going to put some water on the paper. I could probably use a bigger brush, but that's the one that I had nearby. Alrighty, so we'll see how this goes. I want to not try to be too long on the video, but all right, let's see. So the first color I have is I guess it's called a reddish black, and all I did was actually put my piece of paper on a cardboard, because the other thing that I have is quite it's got a like a glass background, and so it reflects on the light, so I didn't want to have too much reflection. So this paper here is just a little pad that I got with probably some order, I'm not quite sure, but it has it's got a lot of markings on it. Okay, I can't talk today, but hold on, I'll get the pad. Just a little pad like this, watercolor pad. It's acid free, cold press, and it's 300 GMS. Well, I think that's what they call it, but it's very textured, I guess is the word I was looking for. On one side, the other side is not as textured, so this side is very textured. So that's okay. We wanted texture. And I'm just going to add more water and just a bit more color here and there. I believe this is the green. Yeah. Just adding the color here and there. Let's see. This one was this color, I believe. A little bit of a darker shade. I hope I'm still in focus. Sometimes I forget if I have the camera on close up, or that's a pretty color actually. I like that. Let's see. It's quite dark. Oh, it's like a blue. It's not like a blue. It is a blue. Sometimes I kind of funny that way. Okay, and the last color I have, I think, is like a black. Yeah, so let's see what this does. I want to mix some of the colors using my spray bottle, just so that they can run a little bit together and mix. Maybe they're going to mix too much and they will all be brown. That's okay. Huh. All right. Now I find that sometimes if I have too much of a puddle, I can always go and take some paper towel and smoosh. That's a word, eh? Smoosh. Smoosh some of the color out. And we take it off, we put it back on, right? That's what we normally do. This is like that green. And this is the blue. It's pretty. I'll just add some more of that blue. Take out some of that browny looking color. So I'm going to take a little bit more of this and just make splatters so that it'll add more color. And as I don't have a lot of that pink or purple color, and I believe the blue is really nice. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is like that green too. A little bit more of that green in here. I'm going to put always have to salt your look how pretty that is. Right away it almost makes a big design. All right, so I'm going to let this dry and then we'll come back to it and see what we can do. Okay, so it's all dried up now, and as you can see, it left a lot of little markings from the salt. So now I'm going to add some what's it called again? Some masking fluid. So I'm just going to put some here and there because I want to dry that, and then I want to add more color on top so it won't. Anyway, you'll see what I mean, I think. Okay, I'm just going to add a little bit here and there. Some of these markings I kind of like. So this is like a glue, or it looks like a glue, but and I'm just going to add it in different little spots. Oh, just to have a little bit of a, like some brush strokes, I guess. There. Okay, so we're going to let that dry, and then I'll be able to do some more painting on top of that, I believe. So we'll just pause to let it dry. Okay, so you can't really see it. Maybe it's just, you can feel the resistance. See, so this is what it is. I'm going to paint over these little spots, and the paint's not going to adhere to these spots, right? So, and then I'll be able to peel the masking fluid. So for now, let's see. I want to add lots of water, and I want this green color. So see, I had some here, so if I put see how it's resisting, it's not going on there. Okay. But it's going everywhere else, which is okay. We're just going to put a little more coloring. At certain spots. I'm watering, my brush is watered down with the color or the paint. There. And so now I want some of that blue. I like that blue, is so pretty. Yeah, so we can have more color. Add a bit more water. And that's the green. Okay, let me put a little bit of this green. Looks kind of brownish, but that's okay. It's a yellow. It's actually a yellowish black. Well, I guess I have to learn to read too, huh? Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit here and there. All right. So I'm putting all my brushes now in the water. Let's see. A little bit more of that pink. Or purple, whichever it's called. Okay. All right. So I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll take off the put all my brushes in the water. Yeah, no more paint on this one. I'm just going to check and see. Might as well get the paint off on the page. Oh yes, this is the black. All right. So this little spray. There. All right. So I'm going to dry this, and I'll be right back. Alrighty. All right. So now it's dry, and I'm removing the masking tape, or fluid tape actually, that I had used. Okay, and if I guess if you scrape it too hard, it scrapes all of the paint, but that's okay. We're still going to be able to use this because it's, see if I don't scrape it too much. And I think I did at one point, I ripped off some of the paper. So I guess that's something we have to be mindful of. Okay. And I think this is called like a rubber cement. Okay, so that's still okay. I'm just going to remove what I can, and I'll be able to paint inside there. So that's going to just give me a different design, more texture, I guess, is what it is that we're trying to get, instead of having, see, now I'm ripping off the paper. So it could be my paper, because it's not a very expensive paper. It could be because I put it too thick, so I will play with that again. But this is kind of a cool idea. Anyway, I had bought the masking fluid a while back. I guess I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking of doing, but I think I was going to try to use it with some of my alcohol inks at the time, because I had seen something cool. That's usually what I do, right? I see something cool, I'm like, ooh, bet you that would be cool. So that's okay. We're still going to be able to, I think that's how I like to learn is, you know, you make like a boo-boo, or a boo-boo happens, and you learn to fix it. And I guess the thing is, don't stop until you like what you see. If you don't like it, you can always paint over this. You can cut it into pieces and use it as a collage. So there's never really, nothing is actually wasted. Yeah, so see, I ripped off the paper, so I'm not being very delicate right now at this point. Because we're going to continue on and seeing what else we can do with this. Okay, so I have a little bit left here. Oopsie. And that could be, I think it's my paper, but we'll get this all figured out, right? Like I said, it's just a little cheap pad. That's all right. I think pretty much everything is, you can feel it. It's like having pieces of tape, which probably the tape would work, but this idea is that you paint it on, so it has that different painted texture. So what I wanted to do now is do the neurographic lines with a marker. So doesn't really matter if you're not really doing the real neurographic design. The idea is to round off all the edges that are and so I'm going to continue doing these because the video is going to be super long if you have to watch me do all this, but I usually just do a couple of lines because you don't have to think about anything, and then I'll just be adding like more lines if I want to inside here, if I want to inside here. So then these can be all darkened, if you will. So anywhere where the lines join, you don't want a pointy point like this, so you're gonna round it off. Okay, so that's the idea behind, so you have no sharp edges, everything is just nice and rounded off. Okay, so they could be different circles that you're going to make within these. So I'm just going to pause, and I'll come back when it's almost done. Okay, so this is what it should look like. Whatever lines you decide to put in, just keep making them as rounded off as possible, so you're going to end up with a design like this. So the idea now is to oh, sneeze, I guess. Sorry about that. I'm going to add a little bit of color where there's some color needed, like this blue. Actually, I'm thinking about something else. Sometimes we get inspired, and I do have, these are all metallic, and I do have, these might be fun because some of the colors in there might work. Let's see. And it would give, because I'm going to make these look like stone, so why don't I play with this kind of coloring? All right, let's see what that does. And I will just take my round brush here. Yeah, because these colors are, this is what it would look like. So this would look more like, I guess, some stones. And it's iridescent or metallic. So this might be really fun to add in some of these here and there. Oh, I think this is going to look really pretty. And I'm just going to add more dimension. Because these are all now rocks. And I think this is going to just make the difference. What I needed. Just put a little bit here and there. Yeah, okay, so that color. Let me see, what other color do I want in there? I love that green, but I think it's going to be too much. Who knows? Well, you won't know until you try putting a little bit. It's like a kind of bright, too bright for what I want to do. Okay, so we're going to stick to the darker shades. Ooh. Yeah. So I'm just adding a little bit of that color, which is this one here. When it dries up, I'll see. But I like the way the colors are coming together, even though they're different. Maybe I'll find another one, another color in there. Okay. could try that little purple one, but see how it looks. Sometimes you do have that color in some of the river stones. They're all colorful. So, oops, that was that moss green. Oh, that was a oopsie. So maybe that one will go in there too. Okay, I'll just put a little bit of that purple here and there. So we have a little bit of the same coloring. And I'm going to try that green, which is this one here. Okay. Moss green. Yep, that looks good. I'm just going to add it where there's some paint missing, where you can still see the white underneath. So that'll just give me that's where the well, I think I like the dimensions it's giving me, or the effect, the color, right? Without having to blend it too much. All right, so I'll just fill in where there's a little bit of white. And you got to make sure when you're using this type of marker, when you're doing your mark, make sure it's a waterproof marker. Otherwise, the minute you start putting water on here, you're going to end up having a big black smudge, right? Okay. So, alrighty. Well, this is already looking kind of fun. It's dark, but that's okay. We're going to do some other stuff now. Let's see. Let me dry this up and then I'll come back and see what I want to do with this. I want to do something else. All right. This is what it looks like when it's dry. So it's not too shiny, but it does have a little bit of that little sheen. So I'm going to look for something else. I'm just going to put you on pause for a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, so now I'm going to do what they call a reverse stenciling on here, and then we'll see how this looks. Let me see. I had something else. Oh, I think maybe this would look good too. Okay. Not as much. So, I'm going to use that was just using water. A baby wipe. I just need the one, but two came. All right. So, it won't be so much, so watery, I think, if you take a baby wipe. And it'll give it It'll give it some texture. Oh. There. Just a few little lines just with some texture. I was looking for something that had swirls, and I didn't find my other stencil, but hey, you use what you got, right? And we were actually on some of the beaches this summer, and we picked up a lot of rocks, and they did have a lot of the different markings on them, so this is cool. But you can just use a baby wipe and gently just remove a little bit of the paint. So this works a lot better than trying a wet toothbrush or even wetting paper towel. It's just a bit too wet. So this worked out pretty good, right? So we'll keep that for another time for something else. Now these are still damp. And I can't put it back into the little thing, so I'm just going to put it in a Ziploc bag for now, and hopefully I'll be able to use it soon. If not, well, it's only a baby wipe. Okay, now what do I want to do? You can see a little bit of the glitter, not a lot, but that's okay. Like I said, it's probably my paper. It's not very expensive paper, so why don't we do some markings or do stuff with the Posca pen. This is a silver one. We'll see what this does. I want to make sure I'm still recording. Okay. So just add a little bit of, this will give me maybe some depth. Let me see if I can make one in here. All right, so I like the silver. So let me see. I think the silver is nice. If I would have put, I could put white, but I think maybe the white would be too white. especially since these are like dark stones. It doesn't stand out too much, right? So this is what I'm thinking. It's kind of fun. You can do all kinds of little markings. Actually, I could try to find some other silver. I don't know if I got silver paint. I think I've got a larger one, and that could make some large well, since you started, you kind of can't really stop. Well, you could, but who wants to stop? This is just so much fun, right? You can do whatever you want. You could leave it like that. You could do I have, oh, I've got a larger silver, and it's a larger Posca pen. We'll see what this does. Oh, hasn't even been used. Okay. Oh, it's coming. Gives it some more dimension, a little more play. And this is more visible. There. Oh. Just gives it a bit more. And I do have gel pens too. So there's all kinds of things that you can use. I think I have a silver gel pen. So where it's all black, maybe I want to do like certain places and just use so everything could be. And in here I could do actually what if I tried okay, these are just watercolor pencils, but maybe I can do so I could do more markings like that. Instead of a big black marker, just using this one here is called ivory black. I could sharpen the edge a bit more, I guess, but it kind of gives it a different feel, a different look. Let's see. More markings gives it more depth. Okay, first day with my new tongue. Anyway, so these are pretty much, I could make different marks like these, highlight this. I think this is pretty cool, but I could sharpen my pencil a bit, as it would be, yes, okay. So, yeah, I think this would be kind of fun. Like a little bit of... So, this is where I'm at with this. I may add more. I do really like the shiny stuff. So, don't know. I'd have to look and see. I've got all kinds of these. This might be fun. I wonder. Well, let's just give it a shot and see what we get. Just at certain spots with a teeny little brush, I guess, or a small brush. I think, I'm trying to think if this one here was, if it was called the Martian Kiss, or anyway, I'm just going to see if I can add like some really bright. This is why we do these things, so we can play. Oh, it is kind of nice and bright. So this would be fun just to add here and there. Look at that. Ooh, this is fun. So I could add a little bit of this here and there. And then add the other colors. I think this is a lot of fun. Just to have a little bit of color. Alrighty. Ooh, turn this upside down. I don't put my hand too much in the paint, but yeah, I like that it's a very metallic. You can see it, right? So let's try another color. What color? Which color? Well, this one is close to the same. Let me try that top one and see what I get. It's not a lot of color, but I'd have to go where it's light. Yeah, it's not going to show up so much. So, all right, let's do the other. Yeah, so it's looking like the same color, but it probably is going to dry a little different. But I'm just gonna spread it around, I guess, just a little bit. So, yeah, little accents here and there. Okay, now, anyway, that was fun exploring this. This just looks too light. I don't know if I have other colors. Let's just look real quick and see. Ooh, these might be fun. Let's see. Well, let's try this middle orange, I guess. See if it'll blend in with this. It's completely changing my color palette, right? That's okay. That's what we wanted to do, is learn different things. But I do like the little shine here and there. Maybe more where the black is. And yeah. Anyway, so I guess you get the idea, right? But these are kind of fun to play with. What else? Let me take a look at you. I think we've done quite a bit. I still feel like I like that little purpley color, but it went a lot with the terracotta orange color, but that's okay. So I think this is what I'm going to leave it at this for now, but this is how much fun I had sharing my little technique with you guys today. So I hope you liked it, and I'll try to get some more done. Bye for now. Don't forget to subscribe.